Welcome, and thank you for joining us for this Sakura webinar, Meet SARA, the Smart Autonomous Robotic Histology Assistant, Step into the Future. My name is Kirsten Hill, and I'm the Event Manager for Biomedica. Please visit the Biomedica website to view the latest information on Biomedica 2020, a virtual festival of medical science, which will be taking place on the 30th of November to the 4th of December. This webinar will be recorded and uploaded to the Biomedica website. If you have any questions, please put these in the chat box and they will be addressed at the end. And now over to David and John.
Thank you, Kirsten, for the introduction. And also on behalf of Sakura, thank you for this opportunity to partner with Biomedica. So we're very excited to be able to provide this webinar. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining. And today we'll look at our newest innovation. We'd like to invite you to step into your future and meet SARA, our Tissue-Tek SmartConnect automated transfer system. So first, I'd like to kick off with some introductions. And you may know John already, but we have on the call today John Robinson, who is the Regional Sales Manager for Ireland, and also Grace Maguire, who's the Application Specialist, also covering Ireland. And Grace is able to support us on technical aspects relating to our instruments. We also, myself, on the call, David Byrne, and I'm the Marketing Manager for UK Ireland. So I'd like to kick off with a short video, but it's probably the most important part of the presentation, and it's the reason why we're all here today, and it also gives more background as to why Sakura do what they do. So I'll just play this video first.
The waiting seemed endless. I was always thinking about it, thinking about everything there is to lose. The days before the diagnosis put me into a never-ending downward spiral of bad thoughts. You keep asking yourself the same questions, over and over. What is it? What will my life look like? All you can think of is this single word.
Cancer. From the first sign to a diagnosis, it's an unsettling journey for a person and their loved ones.
A time of overwhelming uncertainty and stress.
To optimize that journey, we need to overcome the challenges
faced in pathology today,
like the need for higher efficiency,
superior quality,
and a faster turnaround time.
Sakura is dedicated to empowering pathology professionals
to cope with these challenges,
supplying all the pieces of the puzzle
to work more efficient
and generate accurate results with exceptional quality faster.
This is what bonds us as Sakura and pathology professionals,
accomplishing bigger
and better things
every day.
Because ultimately,
patients deserve to know more quickly
what they're up against.
When it comes to diagnosing cancer,
there's no time to wait.
There's no time to wait.
So let's take a look at the cancer incidence in Ireland. And this is quite an important consideration. And we see a similar picture across most countries all countries in Europe. And taking the data from the National Cancer Registry for Ireland, we see from 2015 through to 2045, a projection of incidence. And the key message here is that by 2045, there'll be around 43,000 cases in total. And this represents a doubling of the overall numbers. So this is obviously a very worrying trend. And it brings with it a whole range of challenges that I'm sure we're all aware of, that, again, everybody's in the same situation and seeing the same things. So with the greater numbers, we also are seeing, obviously, a greater complexity per case. And there's a need for standardization, but also a greater need for diagnostic accuracy. And testing volumes are going up, costs are going up. And the other thing is, obviously, the increasing population in terms of the size and age. And coupled against that, we have problems that we see everywhere with numbers of available staff. And for example, the Royal College of Pathologists, in relation to the UK, state that only about 3% of histopathology labs have an adequate staff level. The other consideration is the age of staff, and we have a bit of a retirement crisis coming as well, in that a lot of staff are aged over 55. So there will be a point where we have lots of people retiring. And again, there's difficulty because there just don't seem to be adequate numbers of staff available to fill those positions. So the key here from Sakura understand this very well, and the key here really is through innovation. And we believe in a future where we can harness innovation to further optimize the world of histopathology. And obviously with cancer incidence set to rise, and this problem will really continue to grow, and this means we need to work smarter. We also need to future-proof, and we need to start applying our skills and our expertise in those areas where they're most needed. And this means reducing unnecessary manual processes and freeing up staff time, because then they can optimize and make better use of their skills in the areas they're most needed. So this is why we developed smart automation as a concept. And we see, for example, for those that are familiar with the A120 instrument, which automates the embedding, that this reduces the unnecessary repetitive manual work, and then the staff can train or apply their skills in other areas. So I'd just like to show you a very short animation. And again, this just provides some background as to the whole concept here of what we're doing. And I'd like to show you a small video that explains what the SMART concept is.
Cancer cases will rise year after year, generating a higher demand in need of high and consistent quality. While it's difficult to find the right people to get the job done, is your lab ready for tomorrow? Working in batches causes peaks in the process, creating backlogs for colleagues right from the start. Pressure and stress rise, and so does overtime, losing control of the work, putting the quality of diagnoses at risk. That's why Sakura developed Smart Automation. Smart Automation is designed to automate manual work and to create an efficient flow of the work through your lab. We bring together our instruments, consumables, and services that contribute to a better diagnostic process that enhance the efficiency, deliver high quality and standardized results. Regain control of your lab while able to diagnose at any time, creating a serene and productive atmosphere with no more stress and backlogs. Is your lab ready for tomorrow? Smart Automation, the smarter way for the best results. Sakura, we empower pathology professionals.
So I'd now like to hand over to my colleague, John, and John will tell you more about SARA and this new development. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everybody. Yes, as David said in the introduction, my name is John Robinson. I look after the sales business in Ireland for Sakura, North and South. And yes, personally, I've worked for Sakura for quite a long time now, some 22 years, believe it or not. Starting off in the engineering side and also involved with application, but in more recent years been involved with the sales processes. So yes, over that time we've seen a lot of changes in our industry and in our discipline. This is a very interesting webinar for me to do today because this really is something different. And I'm asking our audience to try along with us, just try and visualize what the future may look like in our histology world. We spent many years where very little things have changed. For me personally, about 5 years ago, I got involved with the Sakura Smart Automation line portfolio. And we brought Smart Automation to several sites across Ireland, North and South. And I think today, as we speak, we have about 10 platforms across the island. But yes, we've got smarter, is what we like to think, and now we're ready for the next step of that process. And although we're looking to the future, I would like to add that today we're talking about a product that is a real product, but it's also very new to me. So as again, this is quite a new presentation for me, but I'm excited to show you SARA. SARA is our smart autonomous robotic assistant. Who is she? She is a robot. SARA is the conceptual name for our new product, which is the SmartConnect. So basically, it's a helping hand in your laboratory, and it would work alongside the existing smart automation products that we have, which are there to obviously optimize your workflow. Probably a lot of you have seen the smart automation products. Not everybody will have used them. I am aware that this is kind of a double vision, if you want. Some people I know in our Irish labs are very closely looking at the move to smart automation and optimizing workflows, automating processes where they can, looking at continuous flow and lean working. So we have established that within our company. This is again the next step of that process to try and bring that automation, to the lab. So SARA, our concept in connection with the smart concept is having better control, helping you basically to optimize your workflow. We will give you better control in the way that we will try and avoid repetitive manual steps. And these steps, I would add, are not scientific steps. They're manual steps with little or no value to the scientific process. We're also through the system going to try and enable your track and trace. It's very common nowadays that labs want to know where their samples are, how their samples are flowing, looking after sample integrity. So again, we can further advance this here with this system, looking after basically the sample tracking from areas in the lab which would probably never been addressed before. This is a complete automation of the processing and embedding process. So basically, from we either unload a conventional processor or loading a express processor to we unload the automated embedder ready for microtomy, this gives us a single point of contact to control the whole process and everything which happens within that process. So of course we see this now that this can help with your efficiency. It's obviously along the lines of freeing up your scientific and skilled personnel to use their skills in areas of the lab which are more beneficial to the process, to the pathologist, and most importantly to the patient. So helping to increase the tissue safety, increase the reputation of the lab, increase everything surrounding the quality. We're going to have a little look now, a little bit closer at the nuts and bolts of the system. So this is the SmartConnect system. In the picture, if you're aware or familiar, you can see in the background, we can see an X120 Express processor. We can also see an A120 automated embedder. And we see SARA, our smart autonomous robotic assistant, in the middle there. It's the arm, which is centralized beside the screen. And let's just take a little further look at the SmartConnect system. So what we are using it for is to automatically load Express X120. We can load directly fresh grossed fixed samples from the grossing area directly onto the SmartConnect. We can also get unloaded output doors from the A120. So here you see the output door of the A120 with the fully embedded blocks, both processed and embedded. But the nice thing about this system is we can also introduce another work stream too, and we can also load conventionally processed tissue cassettes as long as they are mounted within the smart automation magazines. So we can also take a overnight processed run of cassettes from a traditional conventional VIP style processor and also introduce it to the SmartConnect system. Some of the areas that we will look at, we do have a video to play, but I will just home in on some important areas. The instrument, before it does anything with the samples, is it will guarantee that the magazine is correctly closed and that the safety of the individual cassettes is intact and that nothing can escape. This is something, of course, we do currently manually at the grossing stations. The machine will also recheck this for us. It's got its own built-in sample tracking. So as I said earlier, we can enhance the track and trace experience. As everybody knows, whether you're using Cerebro or Vantage or a ready-made bespoke track and trace system, it is very difficult to track and trace samples going through the tissue processing stage, whether it's through a conventional or a rapid processor. We have areas where people are trying maybe to take a digital image of a retort with lots of barcodes, and then we tag it to the track and trace system. But here, when the samples are entering the Express system, we can actually physically track each individual cassette, so we know which magazine it's in, what time the robotics loaded it to the Express. And of course, with the barcode reading in the A120, we will also know when it has entered the automated embedder and when it was embedded. So giving us more full control of the sample flow throughout the laboratory. And as I say, it's not a track and trace system for the lab, but it will plug into your existing track and trace system to give you more visibility. This is what the system looks like. Yeah, you can clearly see now from this picture, we've got the X120, the A120 in the background, and we have the SmartConnect with our SARA robotic arm mounted on the top. We can see a touch screen on the front, which is our single point of contact. But I don't want to go through really the picture and point out any areas, because as I say, we have a video here which will hopefully address any queries or questions that you had in your mind from seeing the previous slides there. And at this point, I would like to hand back to David, who will take you through the video. David?
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, John. So we have a short video here that will, as John said, will give a better idea, and you can actually see the instrument in action. So let's show you that now, and I hope you enjoyed this video.
I remember the first time I worked with Tissue-Tek SmartConnect. Something changed that day. I could focus on the tasks at hand, becoming more efficient and getting the best results. With a single point of contact for processing and embedding, I can load grossed tissue samples and unload embedded cassettes. The automated connection between the Xpress and the AutoTEC makes our workflow smooth and efficient. A great feature I like is the built-in track and trace functionality of SmartConnect, enabling us to know precisely where in the process tissue samples are and knowing they're safe. It's those little things that help boost the lab's workflow. In the past, the work seemed repetitive. It felt like I was wasting my time. I knew I could be doing more meaningful work. I'm delighted that SmartConnect takes care of all of that repetitive work for me. Being able to rely on an instrument is extremely valuable in any lab. I see a lot of happy faces now those backlogs have become a thing of the past. This even results in shorter turnaround times. I think the biggest plus of SmartConnect is the way we have standardized the process by further enhancing the delivery of high-quality results. Our pathologists are thrilled with the high-quality output we are producing, and we enjoy the peace of mind this new workflow brings us. In this way, diagnosis can be done better and faster, which contributes to a better patient journey. My name is Jamal Nabil, and I'm empowered by Sakura.
Well, I hope you really enjoyed that video and you agree that this is quite an amazing development. So the future is now, and I'm really glad that we were able to give you a look into the future on our newest product. And as we mentioned earlier, this is designed to take smart automation, which we already see across so many labs impacting. This takes it to a whole new level of productivity, standardization, and also in confidence, really, in doing the best that we can in providing the service for the patient. So we'll just move forward to the next slide. So now we'd like to take some questions, and I hope you have some interesting questions to ask. And John, I'd like to hand this session over to you if you want to chair.
I see.
And I think we may have questions in the chat.
Yeah. Hi, Kirsten, are you there?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Hi, Kirsten. Yeah, I see. I can't see any questions per se about the product, but I believe some people are having issues with seeing the videos.
Yes, we've had a few people say they were unable to see or hear the videos. So sorry about this to anyone who experienced this. The webinar is being recorded and the videos should work on that. So you'll be able to view those on the biomedical website by the end of the day.
We could repeat the video, Kirsten, if that's worth doing.
You can try it, but I think it was happening to them in all of the videos, so I don't know if it's their device or.
Apologies to everybody.
I did experience that. Did two of them not have any video? Because I could only hear sound on the first and the third one.
Right.
Some people can hear. I see Marion. Hi, Marion. I see Marion was able to see the videos and hear us because she's been able to pose a question. So it's obviously not everybody, Kirsten. Some people.
Yeah, it appears to just be some people. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, as Kirsten said, we can repeat this as a recorded webinar and show the video, so you'll also be able to download it. And I believe this will be available next week as well. Is that right, Kirsten?
Yep. This will be up for the foreseeable future, so they can view it whenever works for them.
Okay. Morning, John. We have people who can definitely see and hear it, so it's not, thankfully, not across the board, but hopefully we can, as you say, Kirsten, get the video put up on the website so people can hopefully access it. And listen, we're doing the webinar this morning, but there's absolutely no problem. You know, if people want to watch the video later and posing more questions, certainly it's not a problem to get in touch with us. But let's in the meantime, let's go for some of the questions that we have here from some of the people who thankfully were able to hear us. So yes, Marion Buckley, morning, Marion. How long is the process from start to finish? When we talk about this process, Marion, we're looking at the processing and the automated embedding. So if you're familiar with the systems, we run at a throughput of around 120 blocks per hour. But there's certain stages within that process where we have preheat times and we have some loading and unloading times. That at that stage, the SmartConnect will be able to be preparing magazines, emptying magazines, preparing cassettes to reload. So the throughput of the X120, A120 of 120 cassettes per hour shouldn't really be any different. We may have a lag phase at the start of the day, at the end of the day, where the system is booting up and heating the initial load time, for example, on the Express would be 15 minutes, but as soon as the flow starts, it continues and then there's no lag phase. So yeah, we shouldn't see any difference in the existing processing times. I hope that's answered your question. Again, the processing time is all around the Express and the X120, A120, and not the SmartConnect. The SmartConnect is just doing the loading and unloading and the tracking and tracing of the samples. How much time would this save in the lab? Again, it's a robotic assistant, Adele. It's preventing somebody having to stand and load the Express or unload, stand and wait on the automated embedder from an unloaded conventional processor. It's also unloading the Express and reloading the A120 and then unloading the A120. So the time that it saves is basically the time a person, a histotech, would have to stand in front of their machines and physically move magazines from door to door. But as I say, if you're comparing it with your existing system of a conventional lab with fully manual processes, the time saving would be huge. If you're comparing it with an existing smart automation customer who already has implemented express processing and automated embedding, well, then the time saved would be obviously much smaller, because it depends where your baseline that you're starting from and the comparison is. Aisha, very nice presentation of videos. Thank you. Marian, accessing the webinar. John Gibbons, thank you. No problems hearing or seeing. Adele, could see the videos. Paul Coombs. Let's chat again, John. Yeah, not very many questions, but it's nice that we didn't know really how many questions we were going to get today, because of course this is a completely new system. It was launched on the 15th of October. We have some countries that are further down the sales process than us. It's very, very new to us, especially when smart automation in certain areas for us is also still very new. But it's nice. It's nice that people are appreciating the videos and the vision. Kerry, good morning, Kerry. Are samples loaded into formalin or another solution post-grossing? Just thinking health and safety impact. Yes, in the video, Kerry, you've probably seen that we were loading the smart magazines, which I know you're familiar with. You've used them before, the 20 cassette magazines, directly into a formalin station on the SmartConnect. And then the lid automatically closed. So yes, that's heated formalin in there, and that sample chamber is fumigated. So there is an umbilical cord connected to the system, which then would be in turn connected to your external fume control or your lab ventilation system. So the idea is we create a downdraft when the lid opens and closes from a health and safety point of view. So yes, I hope that answers your question. So you will go directly from your grossing station into another formalin station. Except, of course, when you come from the conventional processors, because they've already been impregnated with wax, they will go into a slightly different area in that loading station, which wouldn't have formalin in it. They would go through a preheating stage. I see some people are still typing, so yeah, we will.
And also, John, could we mention as well maybe about performing overnight runs? Because obviously this gives the facility that people can come in the morning to embedded blocks. So from that respect, it could also create a time saving where, they can then use that time elsewhere in the laboratory.
Yeah. Yeah. Just saw another question from Marian Buckley. How much is the instrument? Yeah, good question, Marian. This instrument, obviously, it's very different to conventional instrument, and it's very much along the lines of the larger automated disciplines within the laboratory. For example, your biochemistries, your hematologies. This system, to be honest, the preference would be it would be on a lease plan, like a managed service, a small managed service, or a cost per block, or a lease rental stroke service option. And the reason, the main reason is this is a changing product. As your lab grows with automation, we want to grow with you. What we were thinking along the lines with this equipment is it will change. It will change and it will evolve. And I don't think we will see in this generations of products anymore capital purchases, because when you buy it, you own it. It's kind of there and it will never change. And that's not the vision we have. We see this equipment evolving. So probably we will look at the leasing and financing models for the automated products moving forward. The last thing we want, if we bring a new express processor out, or we bring a new automated microtome out, and you have bought generation 1 and we're on generation 3, it just wouldn't make any financial sense to the lab, and it would also be very frustrating for both you and us. So, but we can certainly contact you, and we can talk about financial solutions and ballpark figures. But this instrument obviously is designed to work with the automated products, so the cost implications there is you would also be upgrading from conventionally manual equipment to the automated equipment. Hope that answers your question. Sorry, David, you were saying that you were wanting to talk about overnight processing?
Yes, yeah, just
so obviously with this system, you have the facility at 5 p.m. when you leave the lab. You would have the facility to load up a full run of express ready processed tissue from the grossing bench, and of course the instrument then will continue. It won't continue all night because it would have an infinite amount of gross tissue loaded, but certainly when you return in the morning, you would have that full workload embedded on the output doors ready for microtomy, which you can also do with the automated embedder as a standalone unit, but this gives you just an extra stage of the process to automate and run when the working day has finished.
Do we have any more questions? And people can also unmute if they want to address.
Yeah, feel free if you want to speak and ask some questions. Quite okay.
But what we will do is we'll look at maybe editing the recording, and then we can follow up. So the other thing you can do is email John if you want to do that today or tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, but email John and then we can send you a link to the video so that you can watch the whole webinar, and for those that did miss the video content.
Yeah, apologies for that, but hopefully we can.
Is unfortunately it's this new approach we're all doing. Technical glitches do happen, and I think we all realise that. So if there are no more questions at this stage, let's just move forward. Just to reiterate, then the video's available on YouTube, so you can go there to watch that. So if you just put Sakura Finetek into YouTube, then it will bring up all of the videos that we have under our channel. And again, there's also videos on the A120, the X120. There's more information about the Paraform cassette system that works with smart automation, and various other resources as well. And John's contact details are on here. So again, you can contact John directly as well for more local discussions about what this means. But I would like to thank, first of all, everybody for attending. And especially I'd like to thank Kirsten from StepX for this fantastic opportunity for us to partner with Biomedica and to provide this glimpse to you of what is a very new but exciting development, and really a first in histopathology. So it's something we just wanted to introduce you to. And again, your thoughts and questions and any further discussions, we would very much welcome on this. So if I hand back to you, Kirsten, if you want to close.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. And thank you to all those that attended. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kirsten.
Thanks.